What's up, toppers? It's your host, Treasurer Cassidy, here with our first episode of our new podcast at Science Hill, HillTalk. HillTalk is a podcast that I created along with the help of Colin Brooks and Grace Austin to give students, parents, really anyone, if you're not at Science Hill, the ability to have access to resources and opportunities within our community, along with important information that will come up throughout the year. Today, we're going to talk about how to prepare as a rising senior and have our first special guest on the show, Miss Holly from Nicingward Care. Okay, so as a student, based off of my experiences, I've prioritized myself to stay ahead and focused. And so with the front steps of becoming a rising senior, I've realized all the resources that are right in front of me. So I think it's good to have a roadmap to guide you from start to finish on where exactly you should be at or what you should be doing. So here are some things that I've learned so far. What do you want to do? So focus on what you want to do and what you want to pursue, along with what aligns with your passions if you're not really aware of what exactly you want to do. Usually you don't have to focus on these things until you get to college, your third and fourth year, but it's always good to prepare yourself and also align with things that will help push you to find out what exactly you want. So you could do different clubs and organizations that will help you push to know like what I want to do. Like HOSA is a good option for healthcare students. Colleges like to see well-rounded, involved students. It's not always about the academics. Do the same if you are undecided. Look at the clubs that interest you. Volunteer, job shadow. Do things that will give you a little taste of that experience. Talk to your counselors about your opportunities that are available. Another tip I will give is that if you are up to it, apply for AP and honors classes that are strongest in your field. That way you have a boost in your GPA as well as a taste of what a college class is really like. You can also do this at the very beginning as you are a freshman, so that way you can also have a better way to build your GPA, because I know that within like sophomore, junior year, it's hard to get it back up to what you want to be. Start researching. Now that you have an idea of what you want to do, look for colleges that have the strongest programs in that field. Research at least 5 colleges to get an idea of what you like. Look at the GPAs, the SAT, and the ACT requirements. Using platforms like niche.com and collegeboard.com to help look for all the colleges that fit you will help get an overview of the colleges and reviews from previous students, as well as give you application deadlines and important information. Look for scholarships not only on your high school page, but also on the scholarship pages of your choice of college. Use social media and websites. When searching for a college, you're not just searching for an education, you're searching for a home. You're going to be living at this school and area for the next steps into your adult life. Look at the residence halls, explore the social media pages, and the extracurricular opportunities that are available, like the Multicultural Center, SGA, sorority, and fraternities, anything that you are into. Look at how involved the school and the community is. A closed mouth does not get fed, so reach out to some of the students that are on that social media page. It's always great to ask for their experiences and their advice. Line your scores. Start prepping or helping yourself achieve that ACT you need or want. ACT.com has a daily question that you can start practicing on every day. Grab a study book from the library or even ask your teachers for a practice test to see what exactly the test might look like. It's also always good to take those tests with the time limits that they need to be provided, so that way you know exactly how things will flow on test day. I know that when I took my ACT the first time, I took it at ETSU, and I was actually late. It was really bad. I cried. So it's always good to get there also like 20-30 minutes earlier before it even starts. Another thing, don't take the writing portion. I took the writing portion. I signed up for it because I thought that it would like boost my English, but it did not, because it has like a reading, and then it has, I think, writing, and then comprehension is another one, but you do not have to take the writing, so do not sign up for it. Most of all, keep going. For some students, the junior year of high school can feel like the worst. It is frustrating, difficult, and overall just really heavy steering. You are going through all the milestones and obstacles of becoming a young adult, so it's okay. Overall, that memorable year is just one year that you will and can overcome. Take a break, rewind, reset, relax, but most importantly, remember to stay focused on those deadlines and those applications that come ahead. Take the opportunity to have a summer internship. Don't forget to build a resume for yourself and have a college essay available for applications and scholarships. Most importantly, find your way to clear your head. Self-care is highly important to get a grip on when finding yourself now and for college. So knowing yourself and knowing how to clear your head and better help your mental health will always be a good priority to have, especially during this time. What's up, toppers? It's your host, Treasure Cassidy, here with our episode of HillTalk. And today we have Holly with us from Nice and Word Care. So, Holly, introduce yourself.
Well, like you said, I'm Holly. I am your Nice Longer Care Advisor this year. So that basically just means I'm your college and career advisor here at Science Hill. Okay. And I meet with all the seniors this year to get stuff done.
Okay. So, Holly, how did you get into this field and what made you pursue it?
Okay, so this job actually kind of fell into my lap a little bit. Just because this isn't originally what I went into college looking for and doing. I actually graduated with a degree in health administration, so not anywhere close to doing that, but that's okay. So this job is specifically geared for people that are recent graduates of college, so it's easier to be near to peer. Mm-hmm. So I can relate a little bit better to you. You know, I can tell you my stories of college. I can relate on that level. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But now that I'm actually in the job, it is something that I would like to pursue even further, because it's just really nice to have these relationships with students and, be in the middle of it all.
Understandable. So where did you attend and what was your experience like, and what is some advice that you have for students?
Sure. So I went to ETSU, of course. Originally, I'm actually from Kingsport, okay, but I only lived there for 4 years before college, so I wasn't super familiar with ETSU like a lot of people around here are. Mm-hmm. So I ended up going to ETSU and I stayed on campus. I was part of their honors programs. It used to be called University Honor Scholars, but now it's called something else. But I was a part of that program and we lived on campus. So it didn't feel so close to home that I was being suffocated, but but it was nice to be close enough to where if I ever needed anything or even just wanted to go out to eat with my parents, I could.
That's nice. That's really nice. So what is your role here to help us?
Okay, sure. So my role with Nice Longer Care, so really how Nice Longer Care works is they saw a need in the schools back in 2015 when the program started.
Mm-hmm, I researched that.
Yeah, so they saw a need in the schools, basically that there wasn't really a college and career aspect of counseling in schools, mm-hmm, just because our counselors are so busy, mm-hmm, with everything else that kind of got put on the back burner a little bit.
Especially with a school that's full of 2,000 students.
Exactly. What are you going to do with 600 seniors that all want to meet with you about FAFSA, Tennessee Promise, college apps? Mm-hmm. That's just too much to put on any 6 people. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the need that we feel is we come in and we specifically help with college and career tasks in the school. Like I said, FAFSA, Tennessee Promise, mm-hmm, resume, anything like that.
Okay, that's really cool. So what is the process like? What should we expect when we sit down and meet with you?
Sure. So there's a couple different ways that a meeting can come about between us. I think the very first way and the most way that I use most often is making a note, a counselor's note, and sending it to classrooms. So a senior may get a note that says, "Meet Holly in the locker," and they say, "Who is that? I don't," stranger danger, basically. But that's me. So that's the way I usually do it is I send out notes to the classrooms through the student worker. And they don't know that they have a meeting with me, but I just need to meet with every senior, and that's usually the easiest way to do it.
Okay.
The second way is through my Calendly link. So you've probably seen my QR code, mm-hmm, across the school, on the TVs, in the counselor's office, whatever it is. So you can scan that QR code and make an individual meeting with me.
Okay.
Last is my texting platform. You can text my number. I should probably have that
Yeah,
ready
you
to
gave
go.
it to us during our meeting, our senior meeting, right?
Yes, I did. But just for fun, let me tell you what it is again.
Okay.
It is, maybe. Nope. I'll look it up here in a minute. Oh, here we go. My number is 423-528-0759.
Great.
So when any senior texts that number, I will get it, and at first it will be a robot that responds and says, hey, this is Niswanger. Who are you? What school do you go to? But then after that, it's actually me, and we can text back and forth about making a meeting, or if you have a simple question about something, anything like that, and we can go from there.
Oh, cool. Okay, so when I'm in the application process by myself, I could reach out to you for help.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Okay, so how should we prepare for our meetings?
So the biggest thing I can say to prepare for our meetings, bring your social security number. It's probably, I was going to say put it on your phone, but that's probably not a good thing.
No, it's okay. I actually have mine in my hidden photos.
See, I have heard people do that. They have it in their hidden photos. They've got it in a locked note or something. I don't care what you do, but I want you to have it because we're going to need it for your Tennessee Promise. We're going to need it for your applications, and we're going to need it for your FAFSA. And especially with, like, the new cell phone rules, like, I don't want you to have to turn on your phone and call your mom. Your mom's probably at work. She's got stuff to do. So just come with it. Come prepared, and then everything will run so smoothly.
Okay. Can you share a success story of a student that you've helped before?
Yeah, so I think one of my biggest success stories from last year, and I say my success story, it was not my success story at all. It was the student's success story. But I had one student who specifically came to me last year about a scholarship at ETSU. It's called the Roan Scholarship.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah. So the Roan Scholarship gives 4 freshmen full ride scholarships for the year, and I think they have like 4 alternates as well. So the way Science Hill does it, and other bigger schools in the area, they nominate 4 students to be able to apply to the program because obviously we have 600 seniors, and if they got that many applications, it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
So Science Hill nominates 4 seniors, but this student came to me after the nomination, and he did not get the Science Hill nomination, but then he came to me and specifically asked if he thought, or if I thought that it was worth pursuing outside of the nomination. So you can get another organization to nominate you, like a church or, you know, a nonprofit.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
cool.
And he reached out to, you know, to his organization, and he researched about it to be able to know to do that. But he came to me and he was like, is this even worth doing? And, you know, at the time, I literally was like, I don't know, because that nomination means a lot. But he had great grades and great ACT. He had great experiences. So I was like, you know what? I think it's worth just trying. You know, all they can say is no. Well, he did, and he got it outside of the Science Hill nomination, which I was so proud of him for doing that. And I was so proud of him for even coming and asking my recommendation on the you know, prospect of it, but also like being able to help him with his FAFSA and his applications and everything else for the actual scholarship. I thought it was, you know, it just felt really, really rewarding.
Yes, that is the great part of being in this field in your job. You get to see others pursue. That's really cool.
Yeah, that really is the best part of it, is seeing my kids do crazy things that they never thought that they could do, or getting crazy money that they never thought they could. That's like so fun, is when they get a big fat check in their hand.
Yes.
And I'm like, you deserve that. You deserve that.
So what are some common challenges students face during the college application process, and how can they overcome them?
So I think one thing that it seems like super simple is like literally just getting started. It can seem so intimidating to press that apply button, to make the account, and to just do it. But, you know, getting over that hurdle, once you start doing it, it's like the more you practice, the more you get better at it. Once you start doing it, you get a little more comfortable. You get, you know, and you build that ability to...
The confidence.
Exactly,
Yeah.
the confidence to go ahead and say, you know, I'm doing this, I'm applied to college, whether that's to Northeast, whether that's to ETSU, TCAT, UTK, out of state, whatever it is. really intimidating to hit that apply button. So once you
Yes.
get over that hurdle, I think it can, really take down the stress of it, take down. And then as far as like what to do to help that, I mean, there's resources on campus, your parents, your siblings, go to anyone, a trusted adult that you can sit down with and say, just be here with me while I do this for a second. Because it really is like, I don't have to tell you what to put, but I'm here with you.
Yes.
Push continue. Keep going. You got it.
Yeah, I completely understand, especially during like when you're like applying. Sometimes I'm like, what do I even say for this?
Yeah, for
Or
sure.
Am I even right for putting this answer?
Is this my address?
Exactly. It's so like overstimulating because it's like,
It
oh,
is.
my parents usually do this.
No, it is overstimulating because it's like going to the doctor and filling it out for the first time.
exactly.
It's like, who am I? I don't know. But you know what? It's that first hurdle, and then it gets so much easier from there.
You build up so much confidence.
Exactly.
So, how does Nicewanger Care support students who are undecided about their future plans?
Sure. So I've been talking about college basically this whole time, but Nicewanger Care is a college and career advising profession. So not only do we do, the applications and all that, but I'm a career advisor. I can help you find resources that's going to help you see, maybe I would want to do this job, or maybe I'd be good at this. For example, collegefortn.org is a website that I use all the time, maybe every day. They've got like personality assessments on there and career assessments. They've got every job that you and I can never think existed on there. And they've just got great resources to see, like, would this fit my lifestyle? Would this fit how many kids I want to have? That kind of stuff. So that's like one thing that I use a lot when I do the career advising side of it. So go explore it if you want. collegefortn.org.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, are there any specific scholarships or financial aid opportunities that students often overlook?
So I think the biggest thing about this one is just do your FAFSA. So FAFSA is like the federal student aid that everyone has to do, and whatever kind of scholarship you get, you have to do the FAFSA in order to accept that scholarship. So whether it comes from the school, whether it comes from a community agency or the government, you have to do the FAFSA in order to get any type of scholarship. So that's going to be the biggest, hugest thing.
Okay.
The other thing I can think of would be, so each college has a general scholarship application, and a lot of people overlook that just because they don't know exactly what it is. So the general scholarship application will take your information and the answers you give and apply you basically for all these different scholarships that you're eligible for. So those might be like endowment scholarships or institutional scholarships. So the general scholarship applications for each school, I think ETSU's deadline is March 1st. So that's around what time you'll be doing the general scholarship application, probably around February or March. But yeah.
So that's like a separate website you have to apply for. It's not like the application process itself. Like it's a separate.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
I
the
didn't know that.
application itself for ETS, well, it's different for different schools, but I'm for ETSU, for example, you do the application to get in, but then you also do the general scholarship application, which will apply you to all those different scholarships. So Northeast is that way, Walter State, ETSU, I believe UT goes off the actual application, however.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So whatever you are applying for, whether it's your application for admission or scholarship, make sure you put in your best answers and your best effort, because they're gonna apply you for scholarships that way, and you
Okay.
might get extra money.
Sounds good. So, what advice do you have for students who are balancing schoolwork, extracurriculars? What advice do you have for students who are balancing schoolwork, extracurricular activities, and college applications?
So this is a huge one for senior year, because I went through it myself. Senior year feels so much all the time,
Yes.
so overwhelming. So, it's really important to have like those self-care techniques and whatever you need to do to de-stress and to manage your stress. Make that a priority during senior year. So
Yes.
whether, It could be as simple as going on walks, exercising, doing self-care, whether that's like a bath or a face mask or whatever you have to do. But make sure you're prioritizing stress management at this time. And it's if something needs to come off your plate, then make it happen. Because your mental health is the most important thing during your senior year.
Yes. It's also good to prepare for that, especially before you get to college. Because,
Yeah.
like, if you get to college and don't know how to do any of those things,
That's
you're
so
gonna be dealing with a
true.
lot.
That's so true because time management is so crucial during college. It's better that you're starting to feel a little bit of it now during senior year versus getting to college, being away from your family, being away, not having any resources or not knowing of your resources rather, and having 4 classes with 2 hours of homework and you got to go to the football practice and my dorm's a mess and whatever
So
else.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So start, instilling those processes now and start instilling your, stress management now. It's just a part of, adulting and unfortunately we all got to deal with it. So start now and it's going to continue literally for the rest of your life and how you deal with things and time manage.
So how can parents support their children during the college application process?
So I think this is really important, especially for our students that are first generation college students. Period. But no, I think one thing, I think it's really important, even if they just sit down with you and try to learn with it, learn with you. Does that make sense?
Exactly, yeah.
I think that can make a huge difference for the students. Like, even if we don't know exactly what's going on, we'll figure it out together. And then that gives confidence for both of you moving on in the process and moving on in the college going process. As far as parents that have been to college before, it still looks a lot different than when they applied for college.
I bet.
So they will also need to sit down and learn some new things. And, even like for my first generation college students, there's like new programs out, like the Tennessee Reconnect program is a program for adult learners going back to college, and it's basically Tennessee Promise for adults.
Oh, okay.
So they can get 2 years free
That's
at
neat.
a community college or technical school, even as adults now. So it could benefit them as well. So it's definitely like worth sitting down with your
Exactly.
student, learning what you can, and then when you hit a bump and you're like, I don't know where to go from here, go to Holly.
So what are your goals to bring to Science Hill, lastly?
I think the goals going into this year as opposed to last year is just to continue growing that strong college going and career ready culture. And then ensuring that all students have the resources that they need to get to that plan after graduation, whether that's college or 2-year or military or career, whatever it is. I want to ensure that you have the resources going into that as you graduate high school.
Thank you so much, Holly,
Thank
for coming and being
you.
here with us. You are a huge, valuable resource within our
Wow.
school, and I'm glad that you were here to come on and do our first episode with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I think this is such a cool project, and I can't wait to see the rest of your episodes.
Thank you. Alrighty, that's it for us today, Toppers. Thank you for joining us on HillTalk. That's a wrap.